Hi, I'm Lynn with Blue Knight Rubber Stamps. Today I'm going to show you how to do Embossing Resist. So we're going to emboss first and then add some ink, and the results are going to be surprising and a little magical. This technique is Embossing Resist. So we're going to emboss on white. It's going to be hard to see at first, but then you'll see how it all comes together at the end when we heat emboss and rub the ink off. So I used Mountains with Mist and Forest, and then the Merry Christmas came from Pine Cones in a Frame. So let's get started. So again, we're just going to be embossing in white, one white. And if you tip it, you can see that it's going to be shiny. This got ink on it. There we go. And this is the important thing about having it in the corner. When you pull it up, even with these strong magnets, sometimes the ink makes it stick. And you can see my stamps, I use at the shows, they're not beautifully clean, and sometimes a little bit of the ink does transfer, but when you're using white embossing powder, you don't really have to worry about that, because the white will cover it up. I'm just going to dip it in my powder. And I'm going to flick it a few times. And I did forget to use my embossing buddy. So I'm going to see if I can get all of the extra stuff off. I missed a little spot there. Okay. So I missed a little bit of the spot with the embossing powder, and all I had to do was re-dip it and it stuck. So I'm going to make sure that I got all the extra powder off. And I don't know if you can see it looks real dry. So once again, we're going to heat this up. Okay, I can see that it's starting to get shiny. Switch the corners so I don't burn myself. Okay, and see, if I do this, you can see a little bit that where it's shiny, that's where the wax is. But this is the really cool part. So I'm going to use tumbled glass, distressed ink, and a brush. And I'm just going to, actually I do want to be able to tap that off a little bit. So we'll have a spare piece of paper just to tap it off. And we're just going to smear ink all over it. And I try to put my brush down in different places so that we're getting a little bit more uniform. And then I'm going to start from the bottom up. And I want to really get ink in there good in the middle where all that detail is. Now you can start to see, you can see where the mountains are coming together. So this is really kind of an easy, fun little technique. And I'm going to probably leave a little bit of white in the sky just so that it has a little bit of variableness. I do need to get it pretty blue around the Merry Christmas so that you can see that it says Merry Christmas. And again, you can just keep going over and over till you get the color that you want. I could have used a darker blue. I think tumbled glass is one of my favorite ink colors of blue. It just works for everything. Okay, so that's looking pretty good, but the real magic is when you take your rag, and you want to make sure you're using a clean part, and you go over top of the embossing, because you didn't really realize you had a little bit of ink on top of that wax. And that's what makes it really start popping. So, and that's Embossing Resist. And so I tried it with a different stamp, a slightly different darker color. And then I actually tried to do it with pan pastels, and it didn't work. This is one thing I could not use the pan pastels for, because it actually turned the white wax a little bit blue. So it looks very faded and didn't work the way I had wanted to. But that's kind of a quick and easy, fun little Christmas card. And again, it's really no coloring. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Happy stamping!